My younger dog Fenway has started barking at me whenever I get on the phone with somebody, and it's the most annoying behavior. For dinner, we're doing orange chicken and rice. And I know a lot of people struggle with it, so we're gonna talk about that in today's video. There are a couple of reasons why your dog may be barking in the home. In today's video though, we're really gonna be focusing on attention or demand barking, which is your dog directly barking at you. This is my younger guy, and he usually is the one that is barking his head off at me whenever I'm filming. And he's just laying at my feet right now while I have all my filming equipment and I'm filming this video. But the first thing you wanna think about is, did I meet all my dog's needs? If the answer is no, you gotta go do that first. That's unfair to our dogs otherwise, especially young, energetic dogs like my younger guy. We gotta meet their needs. If you are unable to meet their needs in that current moment in time, that's where I recommend using management. For me, it's sitting here filming this video that I really needed to get done today, so I made sure that I met all my dog's needs beforehand. But if I was unable to do that, a management strategy that I could put into play is putting my younger guy down in my training room. If I put him down in my training room and give him something to work on, he's out of the way. I can feel free to just film the video how I need to film. And this can directly apply to if you're working from home, especially. That's the biggest thing that I hear a lot is I work from home. My dog is constantly bugging me. I totally understand that. In the times that you can't work with it, go ahead and do a management strategy. It might be an extra bedroom, it might be a crate, it might be a quiet space in your house that you can leave your dog separate and away from you when you cannot deal with the barking in that moment. The other behavior that I have taught Fen, if he does have energy and I have not met his needs yet, is to go grab a toy. If he goes to get a toy whenever I'm on the phone, that is an alternative behavior that I appreciate in that moment because he's not barking at me. He will bring me a toy instead and I can play with that toy with him. Again, if it's a really important call, I may choose to remove him out of the room if he has a lot of energy. I may decide if he doesn't have a ton of energy to see if he can be capable of sitting or lying down, and then I can reward him for that. So with my dogs, if I sit down and film a YouTube video, if I think that they are not going to be able to lay down at my feet and just quietly just relax and go to sleep, I will give them something to work on. I will give them a pre-stuffed Kong that I have frozen away. I will give them a raw marrow bone to work on that I know lasts a while. It might be some other form of chew so that they do not get the opportunity to sit there and bark at me. Or I'm setting them up to succeed for not barking at me by giving them something productive to work on. On the flip side though, when you do have time to work on this, it is a great thing to work on. So what I will do really frequently with Fen now, and I just started this week, is I will put my earbuds in or I will put the phone up to my head and I will pretend to talk on the phone. I might not actually be talking to anybody on the phone, but I will pretend to talk on the phone. I can desensitize him to that by doing it all the time, but in those contexts, I can ignore the barking. I can completely not pay attention to it so that he starts to learn that he literally gets nothing from it.
The ignoring can be helpful when the barking is actively going on. If you're able to do so, I totally understand if you're in an apartment and you can't do that and you have to interrupt the barking, utilize a management strategy for that. But I would use ignoring as a management strategy, not your sole training strategy. I think that's a really unfair thing to do to our dogs, is just ignore them and not give them any other input on what we want them to do instead. So when you really have the time, I really strongly recommend putting the time in to doing exactly this, setting up a fake phone call and starting to talk into the phone and then asking your dog to do the behavior that it is that you wanted. For Fen here, it's lying down. I would really put the time into this and the energy into this so that we can actually teach our dogs in this context, this is what I want from you. And I understand that not all the time this is going to be possible, but when you do have the time, this is where the real behavior change is actually going to occur. Ignoring your dog is going to be fine and great, but I would not use that as your only training strategy. That is going to backfire intensely.
Hey, how's it going? Down. Good. Yeah. Uh-huh. Down. Down. Good boy. Yep, I think it's going well. Good. Uh-huh. Yeah. Down. Bend down. Yeah, I think it's good. Good. Hey, buddy.
So like I mentioned, what you'll be able to do over time is actually just wait your dog out. So starting with getting on the phone, saying a couple of words, and then asking your dog for the behavior, what you can then start to do after many times of doing that over and over and over again is start to increase expectations. And here I'm getting on the phone, but I'm not asking Fen what I want him to do. I'm trying to see if he can figure it out on his own. And if he were to really struggle with this, I would help him out, but I'm praising him just really calmly whenever he chooses to lie down here. And then I'm choosing to reward him for holding that for a duration of time. I'm really going for increasing duration as I move forwards in this training protocol because I want him to learn when I get on the phone, it's not going to be for a quick 2 seconds. It's going to be for a longer period of time. So again, I'm on a fake phone call here, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting until he's able to hold that down for a longer period of time. And this is with distractions present. I would work on this if your dog doesn't already have some duration built into their down. I'd work on this separately from the phone call first and then build it in. But it's going to start to have your dog get a more solid understanding that when we're on the phone, we want them to kind of problem solve and figure out like, okay, my owner wants me to lie down and my job is to kind of hang out here and stay here. And she's going to reinforce me for that. So here's our like alternative behavior in practice is Fen's figuring out, okay, if I lie down, that's actually how I earn her attention and the ball as a reinforcer whenever she's off the phone.
Set up fake practice sessions and do it over and over and over and over again and make it look like the real thing to your dog. Your dog will not know the difference and they're going to learn that that earns them absolutely nothing. Once you kind of have that under your belt and under your dog's belt, start to simultaneously teach them an alternative behavior that you would prefer. If that is laying down next to you in your office, make sure all their needs have been met first before you expect that out of your dog, especially exercise and mental enrichment. That can feed into the mental enrichment as well because that's a training session, but make sure they have their exercise needs met. Maybe have some chews that are ready to go on your desk before you jump on that Zoom call, before you jump on that important business call, that you can deliver a bully stick. And your dog is working on a bully stick whenever you're on that phone call. If you can't trust them, you're going to kick them out. So you're setting your dog up to succeed in those situations, and we're not setting them up to fail by not doing any of those things ahead of time. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I'm going to be continuing this as well on my Patreon page, so make sure that you come follow us over there if you are interested in knowing some more.